What do we have for Taurus? The moon. Pisces energy at the foundation of the reading. There's somebody here, or it could be a group. You've seen what they've done. I feel that there could be some sort of evidence here surrounding this as well. And the message that I've been getting, I feel that they're trying to set up some sort of narrative. So when you start to speak about this, or when this information begins to come out about what they may have done, they have some sort of alibi. But it's really, really weak. This isn't going to hold up. If anything, its whole intended purpose is to create frustration and trigger you. It's to make you angry. So now what they're trying to do is trigger you into some sort of rage so they can, again, flip the narrative on you and point the finger at you so you discredit yourself by the way you respond to these sorts of tactics. It's gaslighting 101. Deny, flip, and rewrite. This is exactly what's going on here. But what they're not actually noticing is that what they intended to be a trigger is actually more evidence. Now, the moon card can most definitely be associated with some sort of mental illness as well as addiction. But I feel that this isn't some sort of textbook mental illness. This is something much deeper, okay? There's a darkness that I'm picking up in this energy. And this energy has been in the readings recently. Okay, so I feel that we're just continuing this kind of narrative that I've been picking up. Now, on this moon card, this individual is underneath the moonlight. You can see them, right? It's not like they're hiding. And they're wearing armor, which is interesting, okay? And there's this murder of crows back here. This person is trying to hide. They're trying to cloak themselves. They're trying to not be seen. And it's not working, okay? In fact, what they're doing is so clear to you. And I feel that if this is something they're trying to do on the astral realm, you know exactly who it is. It's like they try to attack you through some sort of energy manipulation, or maybe they call on some sort of entities to attack you in your sleep. And you see their image. You know, what I have come to notice is that, you know, there's a big difference between a dream and spiritual warfare in the dream state. A lot of the times, spiritual warfare in the dream state brings physical symptoms with it, right? So sleep paralysis is something that I'm sure all of you have experienced before. But there's all these different kinds of attacks that can happen in the dream state when it comes to spiritual warfare, and you feel them. You wake up remembering them, okay? Regular dreams don't always bring that level of physical disruption. So pay attention to that. And if that does begin to happen in your dream state, you need to rebuke it. Okay, rebuke it immediately. And if you do this correctly, you'll see a sort of violet light, okay? You'll see spirit. You'll wake up and you'll see the spirit being pulled out of your auric field. Now, if you do try to rebuke it and you don't see that spirit, it means that there's something else that you may be engaging with in your everyday waking life that you need to cleanse yourself of. You know, I can go into a pretty extreme depth here, but I want to try and keep it surface level so you can just get the takeaway from this, okay? It's like praying for something, praying for protection. And a lot of the times when you use these warfare prayers like Psalm 91, they promise to protect you, but it's also going to expose to you where you have cracks in your energy. And it's just another way of saying, okay, we're going to protect you, but you need to work on this because it makes it very difficult for us to protect you when you're still keeping the door open to said thing. Okay, so just have a think about that, place that where it fits, and if you can start to put a magnifying glass in your life and see where those energy leakages may be happening, and you do your best to take care of them, okay, you just have to do your absolute best, that's it, okay, then you'll notice your protection begin to strengthen. What do we have the sacral, please? Page of Pentacles at the sacral. Earth energy. Okay. Now, a lot of the reason why this is happening is because of a manifestation that you are trying to bring into your everyday waking life. So now I'm not surprised at all that we got the message with the moon card there, right? There's the attack, and now we're seeing why, because you're pulling through some sort of manifestation. And this manifestation here This is something that I feel you have been working on for quite some time. There has been a lot of stop and go in regards to this as well, and it has nothing to do with anything more that you need, I'm hearing. It has to do with things that need to be released. Now, as I mentioned, when releasing certain things, it has a way of strengthening your protection, okay? Where you're going requires a certain level of protection. Now, the pages represent new beginnings, new starts. I feel for you, this is representing the next level in the game. Now, this moon card can also be representing people, family members, exes, old friends, just a life that you've moved on from that is trying to create, okay, I'm getting a pretty intense itching in my left palm. Okay, now this makes perfect sense because this indicates some sort of incoming abundance. There's some sort of good fortune or luck that you are preparing to align with. Ooh, I just heard, but you have to face the final demon. Now, I feel that this is just going to be a collection of things, behavioral patterns, mindsets that need to be eradicated from your energy to be able to step up into this new timeline. I'm also hearing something here surrounding shadow work. It could be directly, actually, no, I just heard it is directly connected to this moon energy at the foundation. You know, this is going to be a different energy for all of you, but let's just say it's family, okay, that you have since moved on from. And your life is on the up. You're doing much better without these people in your life because maybe they brought a certain level of toxicity into your reality that was keeping you from said manifestation. Okay. Now, I always mention that when you move in this sort of way, when you cut people out of your life because you want to have a better life and you actually want to succeed and be happy, people can feel very slighted. Okay. And it's like something comes over them. It's almost like a possession. They feel the need to come for you because there's most certainly something much deeper going on there. It's a kind of possession, right? They have the spirit of envy inside of them, and they must stop you at all cost. See, I feel that you're dealing with people that know you one way, and now you've become this entirely different person. Not to say that the past version of you was lacking in anything, but I just feel that it took a lot of strength to get to where you are now. And maybe in areas of your life where you were a bit of a pushover, maybe you just dealt with people's poor behavior towards you. You didn't cause a scene or try to call people out. You just kind of shrugged it off. Well, you're just not that person anymore. Okay, so those parts of you that they can't take advantage of anymore are gone. And I feel that they're attacking you because of this. These are the kinds of people that will make you feel bad for changing, for being a stronger person, instead of lifting you up and praising you for finally moving on and making your way towards your dreams. And then right on the bottom of the deck, we have the, wow. This lineup, Ten of Pentacles, King of Cups, the Tower, perfectly represents what I just said, okay? This is what you're going towards. The page here ends up at the Ten of Pentacles. This is the first step of manifestation. This is you in the manifestation, surrounded by this abundance. And it took this to do it, right? King of Cups is an energy of stoicism, right? So you are no longer affected by their horrible treatment towards you because you're just not that person anymore. You've changed, right? Look at all those tools. You've worked on yourself emotionally. The King of Cups is an energy of not only stoicism, but emotional wisdom, strength. And then the Tower. This is what this has created in their life, which really gives a message of siphoning on your energy, right? Siphoning off of your energy. By keeping you in this space that they've always had you in, they were draining you of something. Wow, draining you of something is right. Seven of Swords, okay? So Seven of Swords is a very sneaky, underhanded energy. It's an energy of deception and betrayal, okay? And look, I'm just going to go ahead and take this energy. You know, this could certainly represent an entity that controls these people, right? It's like the entity says to them, don't let Taurus ever move on and find their way and align with their path, because this entity is using them as a vessel to feed off of you, to deplete you of your hope, your faith, your light, so you relinquish your mission in this life cycle. This is what this is all about. That energy that you hold is highly valuable on the astral realms, and these entities will use these people to get to you. It's the simplest way I can put this. What do we have at the solar plexus, please? Six of Wands, Leo energy at the solar plexus. Okay, victory. This is what you are heading towards, okay? Success is right outside your grasp. It's closer than you think, and this is why all of this is taking place. It's like one last-ditch effort to see if they can somehow get inside your head. You have a personal triumph here, and this is what this is all about. This is you realigning with your path, right? They can't have this. You know, this is also one of these energies where I mentioned that you have been trying to manifest this thing for quite some time and it just hasn't worked, or you haven't seen the kind of movement that you would have expected for the amount of work and sweat that you have put into this. And again, it has nothing to do with you doing something wrong. It's all environmental. And or if it's a mindset, it's just a way that you're showing up to something. Okay, I'm also hearing that the mindset is directly connected to the environment, right? So you can't manifest this thing when you are in this particular environment because, like they say, you are the sum of the 5 closest people to you, right? That's a really great example of what I'm getting here. It's like the environment keeps your vibration too low so you can't align with the manifestation because this manifestation is on this entirely new level. And also, these energies can't go with you. All right. But having said all that, what I feel that you are finding out or you're about to find out, depending on where you are in accordance with this timeline, is that once you release these energies, all of a sudden, it's almost like overnight, things just start to move. That's what I'm getting here. You can't see how much they're holding you back until you get away from it. Okay. Now, for some of you, it may not even be people. It could be something that you are doing that needs to be eradicated from your energy. Okay. For others of you, it could be a collection of things, a whole petri dish of things, people, behavioral patterns, mindsets, things you need to let go of. Okay. But all I'm trying to convey to all of you here is that if you are not seeing movement without any really good reason as to why you're not seeing movement, there's something that you're missing, something that you've overlooked. There's something that needs to go. Keep removing things until you begin to see movement. Think of it as baggage, right? You need to dump some things overboard until you start to move again. But it's energy, it's environments, it's people, it's mindsets, it's behavioral patterns. All of these things can easily accumulate to create a blockage for you. Okay, I'm hearing something about bandwidth. Page of Swords in reverse at the heart. Yeah, this is following what I was saying in regards to you are the sum of the 5 closest people to you, because the Page of Swords is one of these energies that represents people who talk year after year about all the things they're gonna do, but never do it, okay? It's an energy of all talk, no action. It's also an energy of people making promises that they can't deliver on, all right? And I feel that this has to do with your environment, the people in it. You're just not seeing growth. And the environment has an emotional stronghold over you. And this is why it's so important to remove yourself from that space, however that shows up for you. I also feel that things are getting progressively worse as well, which is Spirit's way of trying to force you out of that situation. You know, we did see the Tower on the bottom of the deck, okay? So I feel in the energy it feels like a tower is imminent. You know, the Tower represents an energy where people are left with no choice but to move on and rebuild somewhere else, so to speak. It's something that is divinely ordered to bring a complete destruction to some sort of false securities in your life. It's unwanted, but it does bring through the change, but not before it brings complete ruin and disgrace to that space, okay? So having said that, I feel that there's also a bit of a warning here for you. It's like Spirit saying to you, all right, listen, we're ready to help you bring through this manifestation, but we got to get you out of here as well, okay? Whatever that means for any of you out there. I'm also hearing something about a number of you having prayed for this, and now it's here. Okay, but it doesn't look obvious. Okay, you're just kind of like, what? I don't get it. This isn't what I prayed for. But you have to understand that the prayers look a whole lot different than what you would expect, right? The prayers are going to get to the root of things. It's like praying for protection, and Spirit says to you, okay, we're going to protect you, but we need to show you what you need to work on in your everyday waking life so we can actually protect you. It's like, the example they're wanting me to give here, it's a bit silly, but I think everybody will understand. It's like somebody walking down a street, okay? And let's say this person has half a dozen massive bodyguards around them. And as they're walking down the street, they're picking fights with people. See, it doesn't really make any sense, right? They're wanting protection, but they're actually putting themselves in harm's way. It's very similar to what I'm getting here, okay? So it's basically Spirit saying to you, hey, we got you, but you're going to have to move differently. That's what prayer is going to first reveal in your lives. It's like Spirit is trying to lead you out of the darkness, so to speak. But in order to get you out of the darkness, it's like they have to walk you through this heavily wooded area. Maybe they have to bring you through this place that looks a whole lot like hell, right? They can't just snap their fingers and all of a sudden you're in the new beginning. We live in the third density. Yes, magic very much exists, but it exists within your willingness to change. That's how you do this. You have to put some sort of inspired action behind the changes you want to see in your life. That's how your prayers get answered. And right on the bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Swords. Okay, so this is an energy of being honest with yourself, okay? It's like saying, oh, okay, yeah, I get it now. I could probably work on this, okay? You start to work on it, and Spirit's like, perfect. We got you now, okay? We just needed you to address that. And then the Sun, here you are, protected underneath the Sun, right? The most high vibrational card in the tarot, an energy of success. So being honest with yourself about what you can change, what you can do better, spaces that you can remove yourself from, whatever it is, right? And boom, your prayers are answered. Queen of Wands. Page of Pentacles, and look, right? So it's almost like the evolution of this Page of Pentacles here. It's like Spirit hands you the pentacle, and now here you are manifesting the pentacle. It's like Spirit saying to you, hey, we can bring this through to you, right? You're looking at it. But this is how you need to move. Hierophant. Okay, so the Hierophant can most definitely represent Spirit, the divine source, God, the higher power. Okay, what do we have at the... Okay, what do we have at the throat, please? Seven of Pentacles. Perfect. Okay. So this Seven of Pentacles really follows up the cards that we just saw on the bottom of the deck, because now we can see that your investment is paying off. You're receiving the fruits of your labor, okay? This is an earned success. Again, this is Spirit saying to you, hey, we've got this for you. We just need you to let go of this thing or these things or these people, this environment, and then it's yours. What you want requires a sacrifice, something that is not serving your highest good. That's how Spirit works in your life. And that's, again, how prayer works. It brings things to the surface. Yeah, I just heard, until you understand how this works, you're just spinning your wheels. You need to build a strong foundation for said manifestation. And this is how it's done. What do we have at the third eye, please? Wow. Knight of Swords. Okay, so the Knight of Swords represents lifestyle changes, okay? So I feel that this is you taking action now. Things are starting to click. I also feel more hope coming through. You know, this is actually a very hopeful message, because it's usually these kinds of messages when you're supposed to go, oh, I get it now. I think I know what this is in regards to. So you take action in that space, and boom. Movement. I also feel a very distracting energy around you. Now, this could be in regards to what I was picking up environmentally. It's like something feels so out of control that it's hard to actually focus on this manifestation that you're trying to pull through. Now, this could also be speaking about this moon card at the foundation, like something coming through trying to distract you again, something trying to rewrite a narrative because of how close you're getting to something. Just remember, the distractions, the gaslighting campaigns, all of these things are all signals that you're getting close to something, or you're actually going in the right direction because you are disturbing something. And I'm also hearing here that what you're disturbing may be coming at you from all different angles in your everyday waking life, but it's like it's rooted in one spirit. Okay, I just got a dull ringing in my ears. It's like one entity, let's say on the astral realm, that maybe somebody has called on, right, to stop you from doing something, is now using all of these other people to come for you, right? It's like one entity, and it's using all these extensions to come for you. This is how this works. I often refer to this as same spirit, different meat suit, right? Different people hold the same spirit, the same energy. It's something that feels familiar. And this is supposed to really mess with you psychologically because it makes you feel like there's something wrong with you, okay? What do we have at the crown, please? Wow. Ace of Pentacles, Earth energy at the crown. There it is. There's the manifestation, all right? And this is what this is all about. And it's coming out in reverse. They're trying to keep you from something. See, here's your path, right? Here's the coin. You're going through this transformation, which is being represented by the scarab beetle. Okay, this coin right here, it's like this coin here, okay? Spirit hands you this coin and says, okay, go out there and get it, okay? Starts with the Ace of Pentacles, and then it goes to the Page of Pentacles. This is, let's say, the idea, okay, or the thing you want to manifest, rather. And Spirit says, okay, we got this for you, but we got to put you through this transformation first, which is everything I've been picking up here, right? The things that need to be released or changed. As soon as you do this, then you're good to go, all right? So, in reverse, this is them trying to stop this from happening. So all of this makes perfect sense now. As many twists and turns as we went through there, we have extracted this message perfectly because all of this disruption has to do with your mission. Look, see that path right there? And those pinnacles, right? Those pinnacles of success, of your victory. See, as soon as you reach this point, let's say, for the sake of example, that entity loses its hold on you. It can no longer feed off of you. It can no longer nourish itself off of your abundant energy and light. And right on the bottom of the deck, Judgment. Whew. 9 of Swords, unbelievable. Ace of Swords and 5 of Pentacles. Okay. All right, so the Judgment card here is representing basically what happens after all of this, right? After you come to understand how this is work enough to start making some changes, right? Then these energies are brought before Judgment because you have rebuked them from your energy. Right here you are rebuking this demon. Demon, I see you. That's not a normal dream I just had. You're trying to leech off my energy. Ace of Swords. Okay, so Ace of Swords is an energy of victory. It's also an energy of mental strength, okay? And then 5 of Pentacles. This is representing the energies that I feel are being used as vessels by this entity here that I'm picking up on. It's like all of a sudden they're all drained out, they're all used up. They feel at some sort of loss. 7 of Pentacles. So we have that again now. So here you are harvesting, right? And then the moon again. Right, so see how this energy was trying to cloak themselves in this armor, right? as if to say, you can't see me, I'm protected. But now here they are, all exposed. Out in the open for everybody to see. Okay, let's get into the second row. Judgment again on the bottom of this deck. So the judgment from this deck is a little different than the regular judgment. It's like judgment in its shadow. So that would be an energy that is trying to stop judgment, okay? It's an energy that refuses to self-examine, okay? So that really speaks about this entire campaign. They need to keep this going so judgment doesn't begin to unfold. And it's like that's the entity on the astral plane that's controlling all of this. Like, oh no, judgment's coming from me. Whenever I mentioned this, I think in maybe it was the collective reading or the cancer reading or the members reading I just put out. One of them I was mentioning, I think this card came out, and I said that the entities on the astral plane that are the reason for all of this, that's what they look like, okay? It's like people call on these lower vibrational entities on the astral plane to do their bidding, to stop you, to create blockages in your life, not realizing that this is what they actually look like. This is what they are. And when these people call on these entities, they're giving these entities permission to tap into their energy. So now they're not only using these people to siphon off of your energy, but they're also siphoning off of those other people's energies. Now, people who are constantly casting spells on people and calling on these entities, they have multiple hooks in them by these entities, all different kinds. You can begin to see it on these people, right? There's just something off about them. It's like they have all of these energies tapped into their auric field. They're possessed. You can begin to see it in their face. They don't look right. That's why it's so incredibly dangerous to call on these energies. It brings a whole other kind of darkness into your life. And you typically aren't able to fully see the impact of what these energies are doing in your life. You know, these are all extensions of the devil, right? And the devil laughs at these people. The devil uses them. They think they're using the devil. And the first place that it's going to impact in these people's lives is their mentals, right? This is when they're doing things like we picked up at the very beginning, right? The gaslighting campaigns. Everybody can see what they're doing except for them, right? They're living in some sort of alternate reality. They can't see the error in their own ways because they're so lost within the darkness that they have called upon you. If anything, you can use this to manifest off of in your own life. Because as we mentioned, when you call on protection from spirit through prayer, spirit says to you, right? Yeah, we got you, but we need you to take care of this, that, and the other because it makes it difficult for us to protect you. So now you're strengthening yourself. You're improving, right? Your circumstances and how you move in your everyday waking life. You're starting to level up, which actually puts you in perfect alignment with the manifestation. So this is when you take something so dark and diabolical and you transmute it for good in your own life. Now, there's a lot of complexities to all of that, okay? So place all of that as it makes most sense within the structure of what you're dealing with. This is how it really works. And if you can just stop for a moment and take control over your own reality, you start to protect yourself. You start to love on yourself more, which is just another way of saying doing things to level yourself up. You're going to see massive elevation in your life, okay? Because all of this actually works more for you to expose where you might have cracks in your auric field where these energies can get in. So that way you begin to work to seal them. It's revealing where you're exposed. What do we have the foundation, please? What do we have the foundation, please? Unbelievable. Look who decided to show up to the party. The devil. Moloch. Look at him. I love this devil because it's like he's waving. He's like, hey, Taurus. I always knew that you had it in you to level up and that this bozo wasn't going to be able to get what they wanted from you, but I let them try anyway. There's also a huge confirmation here with this moon and devil stacked at the foundation. I'm picking up on heavy alcohol or drug use from these people that you may be dealing with, okay? These people are completely out of their minds. I just heard of wacky doodles, okay? I'm seeing in my mind's eye somebody ripping all of these wires out of the back of a computer, right? Like an old style computer. There's just wires and motherboards everywhere and just all these different components and transistors. It's like that is what is going on inside these people's minds. They're completely scrambled. And this is a direct result of the spell work. They're being tormented. They have invested so much time and energy into creating this false reality that they're too invested into it now. They can't turn back. They'd rather risk seeing if they can get you to relinquish your path than have to give it all up and back their way out of that certain kind of hell that they have been making their way into for far too long. I mean, this is years of going down this path. And, you know, a lot of you out there go through this awakening not even realizing that there's certain things you need to release because it led you down a wrong path in life. This is just a part of the human condition. We all deal with this. But these people purposely took that path thinking that it was going to result in something that levels them up. They don't think like you do. This is a whole different way of thinking. These people are very haunted, and rather than work through it and remove themselves from that space, they've claimed it. They've decided that it would be less work to try and convince everybody else that their way is the right way than to back themselves out of the darkness that they have brought into your life. What do we have at the sacral? Okay, we're going to take both of these. Wow. King of Cups. Okay, I guess we'll put this one here. And Death. Wow. So the King of Cups, water energy at the sacral position here. This is an energy of heavy emotional manipulation. All right, so these individuals that you're dealing with, they could be family members or just people that you've always known, and they're trying to poke at your inner child, okay? I feel that they're trying to trigger parts of you that you have since healed. I also just heard they're trying to plant an idea that you're sick or you're unstable so that later they can use that as their alibi. They're accusing you of the very things they're guilty of, right? So projection at its finest. It's one of these kinds of situations where their words aren't even meant for you. It's a performance to sway outsiders, right? So they're setting the stage for the future. I also just heard that their recklessness and distortion carry the fingerprints of addiction and escapism. And you couldn't get a bigger confirmation, as I mentioned, than the moon stacked with the devil at the root chakra of my readings when it comes to addiction. I just heard these people have given over to a reprobate mind as well, okay? So the devil is an energy of lust. It's an energy of addiction. It's an energy of despair. It's an energy of bondage. It's an energy of greed. It's an energy of envy. It's all of the darkness in one, okay? And it's interesting that I just put it that way because I was mentioning how these people will call on entities and then they'll do it again and again and again. And all of these entities have hooks in them. And so they're just walking around inside this world possessed. That's this energy right here. And then we have Death, Lilith, right there at the solar plexus. Now, the Death card from this particular deck is speaking about stagnation. It's an energy of depression and just not being able to move, okay? These people are stuck. They're stuck, I just heard, in the hell that they had prepared for you. But yet, they refuse to surrender. They're in hell, but they're trying to create a narrative that everybody else's reality is twisted, not theirs. And everyone, again, can see it except for them. I gotta say it, but this is the kind of person, people, whatever this is, that ends up in a mental institution in their old age. It's because of things like this. You cannot dibble and dabble in these low vibrational affairs for this amount of time at this volume without severe consequences. The King of Cups from this deck as well can also speak about alcoholism. So all of this energy here, right? Here you are, up-leveling, moving forward, and this entire energy surrounds you. Drugs, addiction, bondage, compulsion, demons, possession, but through all of it, here you are. I just heard child divine, okay? This is all happening for you, or it's going to happen for you, because you've surrendered. You've surrendered the parts of you that cannot go with you, that are no longer serving you, or maybe never did. You are the child divine because your prayers are being answered, because you are actually listening to how Spirit is responding to your prayers. Like I mentioned, hey, we got your back. We got your back, Taurus, but can you work on this? And you're like, yeah, I got it, Spirit. And Spirit's like, okay, we got you. This is how this goes down. Meanwhile, all these entities that these people are calling on are feasting off of their energy, laughing at them, whispering in their ear, hey, go do this, go do that. You're going to be able to get this. You're going to be able to get that. They'll never make it. It's going to be you. You're going to be on top. You're the chosen one. And they're like, yeah, over and over again. It's like they're in this endless loop of distortion and just memories now melting into each other. They can't remember what they did yesterday, let alone 6 months ago or a year ago. It's just all the same. These people have become feeding grounds for all of these astral parasites. That's what they called on. See, the only way that this could ever impact your life is if you yourself lived a life out of alignment with your North Node. So essentially, if you lived a life of purposeful sin, right? You were out there just purposely doing horrible things to other people and aligning yourself up with this devil energy, then these entities could affect you. But they can't touch you because you're not living your life like that. Now, for those of you who may hear this and are going through a bit of a struggle, again, look at the areas of your life that you need to clean up. And when you do that, things will begin to progressively get better. And it's so interesting. I was talking about, the astral parasites feeding, right? And here we have a vulture, right? Feeding off of this deer carcass here. Just gives wasteland vibes, right? A wasteland on the astral realm where all these parasites live, right? It's like those are the energies that they're tapping into. What do we have at the heart, please? Then we have the Six of Cups, Scorpio energy, fruitless labor. Okay, now the Six of Cups from this deck is further confirming that they're trying to keep you stuck inside this old cycle, right? The cycle where they know you to be a certain way, where they can still feed off of you, okay? Where you have no identity, see? You haven't stepped into your power, into your mission. I feel this energy is trying to get inside your head, all right? Oh, you're sick. There's this, that, and the other wrong with you. It's like they're, again, trying to distort your reality, trying to tell you that your expectations are unrealistic, that everything you're saying, everything you're thinking was a lie. That's not how it was, right? And demons don't go away. They just hover around the outskirts of your life, trying to look for another way to tap into your energy. That's why you must never let the shield of the divine down ever. As soon as you get comfortable, as soon as you let down your defenses, you just have a way of making their way back in. I mentioned in one of the readings recently that it's important for each one of us to understand what our own personal kryptonite is, right? Because that is how they are always going to try and get in. And then we have the Ace of Wands, fire energy at the heart. Here's your new beginning. It now begins to take off. After all of that, we have just gone through hell and come out the other end stronger, more empowered, with a deeper understanding and a more expansive knowledge base, which you actually need to be able to pull this off. Like I mentioned, right? You can actually use this to your benefit. It's like Spirit saying, hey, this is what's going on, okay? But just take a deep breath here. We're going to get through this. You just have to listen to us because we're going to help you extract some very valuable wisdom from all of this that's going to serve you where you're about to go. In fact, this wisdom you're about to extract, it's necessary because this is what's going to allow you to hit the next level in the game, because this cannot be bought. You are going to transmute this darkness into power, and that power is what is going to align you with this manifestation. What do we have at the throat, please, Spirit? Okay, I actually did not mean to use that deck. We're going to switch decks. What do we have at the throat, please, Spirit? Okay, are we taking both these? Yes, okay. Nine of Wands. Fire energy at the throat. Justice, Libra energy at the third eye. Unbelievable. Okay. Wow. This Nine of Wands, you're clearly protected here, right? You have a shield around you with wings. Okay, it's like you're going into battle. So follows all of this perfectly. It says right there, protection. God, the good in himself. I just heard Spirit is arming you for battle, okay? But it's with knowledge, it's with strength, it's with experience, and it's with the knowing of where those cracks in your own auric field exist, right? This is what this is all about. It's like, what's the point to Spirit giving you this shield of protection if you have cracks, right? It's like Spirit saying, hey, we're going to give you the shield, but we have to seal the cracks, the leakages in your auric field first. Otherwise, this is not going to serve you. And then we have the Justice card, okay? So the Justice card represents a win. It's also representing a rebalancing. And, right, Justice has the blindfold on, so Justice is blind, which when I get that sort of message for a reading like this, it can really speak about who may be doing this to you and how it's important for you to try and detach yourself from who these people may be in your life, okay? Look at the spirit of things, not at the person, because the entity will use the person that you have always known them to be as a means to disarm you. And that can be very difficult. That's not easy, especially depending on who it is you're dealing with here, okay? But we have just gone through a very detailed campaign of what these people are actually doing. Like I mentioned, they've given themselves over to a reprobate mind. Who you once knew them to be is not who they are anymore, okay? They're gone. Yeah, I'm hearing something about them being fragmented, right? Each entity that has tapped into them that they called on to do this work on you owns a piece of them. Think of these people as a jigsaw puzzle, right? And each entity has a piece, right? Just completely fragmented out across the astral plane, under demonic possession 24/7. And then right on the bottom of the deck, we have the Magician and the Six of Swords, okay? So Six of Swords is an energy of your rite of passage, and the Magician is an energy of you having all the tools you need to be able to pull through this manifestation now. But the way this manifestation is going to come through, it's actually going to be better than you were expecting. There's something different about it, right? Like I mentioned, it's like the next level. It's just going to be bigger. It's going to be, I just heard it's going to be more unique. What do we have at the crown to close out the reading for Taurus, please? Perfect. Two of Pentacles, Capricorn energy at the crown. Now, this Two of Pentacles and the imagery, the illustration, follows this message perfectly because you're on your hands and knees and this person is giving up offerings, right, to the divine. So this could just really be highlighting your connection with Source, God who supports the universe fortune and fame fulfills any request. So again, you going to the divine, asking for protection, asking for help, and the divine saying to you, we got your back, but this is what you need to do, okay? So we can protect you properly and it actually be effective. You got to release. You got to let go. You have to remove all of these things inside of your energy that are creating energetic dragage, baggage, that are anchoring you into this cycle that you are trying to move on from. So this reading is quite deep. There's a lot going on here. And there's going to be a lot of messages here that are going to have to be left to your interpretation. And that's exactly the way it's supposed to be. So place all of this as it makes the most sense in your life so you can begin to see movement towards this manifestation that is literally right outside of your grasp. This reading is rich in wisdom and profound insights that I feel used properly will see you pulling this manifestation through. All right, Taurus, this is what I have for all of you. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. If you would like to support my channel, there are a few ways that you can go about doing this. Of course, donations are always greatly appreciated, and I'm very grateful to everybody who continues to donate to my channel. You can also visit my online store. The links are down below. It's made up of things that I have designed myself, and I'm also grateful to everybody who has been visiting and making purchases there. Information for personal readings can be found down below. You can also join the membership side of my channel. It's only $2.99 a month. I upload bonus videos there that are not for the public side of my channel. But lastly, I would like to know how this reading resonated with you. So drop me a heart and or a comment down below, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Take care.